Hi everyone, and welcome back. Sorry for missing a video last week, but I just hadn't had the time to sit and edit. I've been working on two things at once, and I feel like I barely have 10 minutes to rub together by the end of the day, every day. In this video, I'm continuing to pick away at the cleanup and the site prep for building myself a little fort in the woods down by the creek. I think this desire to build these silly little things for no particular reason other than making more work for myself in an already super hectic time, with other unfinished projects on the go, is to keep united with the kid in me. I feel like we spend way too much time as adults in this lifetime, and we completely forget about who we were as kids. And I think it's really important to stay connected with our inner child. I mean, who doesn't want to feel like a kid, carefree in the world, with a huge imagination and an endless amount of desire to turn nothing into something? So that fell when I cut the aspen down. It fell and it's hung up in some two little hemlock trees there. So I'm going to use the bobcat and just kind of push that over. And then that tree is dead. This one is very dead. And then that one is very dead too. I'll do the pine tree first, and then hopefully I can, it looks like it's not touching it, so that's good. And then we'll get rid of that one. There's not a lot of space in here in between the trees to maneuver the machine. I'm trying to think of how I can use it to get rid of this stuff, but I almost think it's just as easy to just cut it up and throw it into this kind of little like gully area where I've been putting everything else, but I'll see. A lot of people complaining about the way I start my chainsaw. I should have the brake on. I've never done that before. Yeah, it's too hard with the machine with the forklift attachment. And I have the forklift attachment because that's what I'm bringing the stuff down with, not the excavator attachment. So to go all the way back up and exchange attachments when I have to just keep bringing stuff down with the forklift, it's easier for me to just chop it up into smaller pieces and then throw it. So that's what I'll do. I'm gonna go back up, however, with I'm gonna take some logs up, those two little hemlocks. I'll take those up and then drop them off at the mill, and then come back down with some more stuff. I brought these up. I thought before I go down, I may as well do the milling to them that I want to do before I go back down. I'm trying to be as efficient as possible with how many trips I take down there with the bobcat. I left my camera down there, so I'm using my phone intermittently, which I usually do anyway, the odd time I whip out my phone, because it's easier to have in your pocket kind of thing, rather than like a big camera. So I'm going to take the bark off of these, and then I'm going to mill two sides. And the bark, I noticed when I cut the tree down, it's got the sap underneath the bark, so it's easy to come off. Oh yeah. trying to think of all the stuff I can mill while I have the mill going with what I've got here. Kind of only have that one hemlock. A few of the other ones I have are actually kind of rotten, and then they're getting a little bit too big in diameter. So this one is bigger, but I'm gonna cut it into quarters. And I'm basically just gonna try and mill as much material as I think I might need, because it's gonna be for the window framing, the door frame, and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna take these little hemlocks down now, and I'm gonna take them back up to the mill. I'll mill those too. And that'll probably be it for today, I guess. Hello. Several days later, after I cut those little hemlocks down, I was gonna delimb that tree. There's a lot of really long limbs, which would make for a lot of mess down by the creek. So I was trying to think of how I could more efficiently do this. So I brought a chain down with me. I was actually just gonna take all the limbs off there and clean it up and pull the tree out. But I think I may as well try and pull the tree out with the limbs on it and delimb it somewhere else where I don't really care about where the limbs go. Maybe we will bring the wood chipper down with the bobcat attachment, like the wood chipper bobcat attachment down at some point, and clean up this a little bit. I mean, there's a lot to clean up in this forest, so you got to kind of pick your battles. But anyway, at any rate, I'm in a bit of a hurry. The bobcat's been down here, but I need to take it back up to the house because Steve wants to use it today to start excavating up the yard for the well pump issues. And so I need to just do this and then get the little hemlock up to the mill, and then I can hand over the machine. Maybe. It's really cute. Can you see? Lenny's there. He blends in, but he's there. He followed me down. I came down on the ATV, and yeah, he doesn't normally follow me, but he followed me down here, so it's kind of cute. Hey, Len? You done? You're cute as a dog, man. I gotta get to the machine. You're gonna have to move, okay? Hi, Lenny. Hi, Lenny. Good boy. Plan how I want to cut this. I'm obviously going to try to use it for the little fort. So I'm just trying to decide how I want to use it, like if I want to use it for the front and the back beams or the front to back rafter beams. The other thing that I find I get myself into is when I think about starting a project like this little fort build. In my mind, I always just tell myself, I convince myself that it's just going to be a really quick and easy build and I don't need to complicate it and just get it done. Like it's supposed to be quick and not like something that's going to take a really long time. And then I start, I don't know, thinking about ideas of ways to do things, and I always question if I should try to advance my skills a little bit, if I should try to do something in a little bit of a different way than I've done before. Should I keep taking the easy way, the quicker way, like for example, just like little timber frame styles. So I'm in this phase of trying to, like, I want to challenge myself and do something a little bit better or a little bit more intricate or detailed. But at the same time, I'm like, this is a fort. This is something that was supposed to be really quick. So don't get too tangled up in the nitty gritty details. But I don't know, it's just like my brain, the creativeness or something just makes me want to try something different and fun and just kind of grow my skills, I guess, with these sorts of things. So I'm just looking at this hemlock and it's got some curve to it. I was sort of wondering if I shouldn't try to make the front beam, the front of the cabin, incorporate the roundness of the curve of the log somehow. Like, it would be really neat that way, but then that complicates the rest of if I'm trying to add milled timbers in that and the joinery and where do I draw the line. So yeah, I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to do it. It's taking me some time. I went and got a measuring tape. I obviously have no set like plans, like blueprints of what I'm doing. It's just an idea, and like all the things that I do, they just start as ideas and then I just kind of play around with the materials. I had no idea that I would use this hemlock or the other little bits of wood that are around there and mill them into usable timbers for the little structure. But that's where I'm at now. So I'm just kind of rolling with it, and yeah, we'll see. I can't quite decide. So I cut it way longer than I want, and I'm actually just gonna pull it up with the chain rather than the forklift. So I'll just drag it up and drop it off at the mill, and then I'll hand the bobcat over to Steve. Okay, so I'm just pulling the log. I was over there, got it behind me, and I'm starting ahead, and there's Lenny. He's been waiting for me this whole time. It's really unusual. He doesn't usually come and like follow me and hang out with me down here. How adorable. We've got a couple of dogs with us for a few days. I think 4 or 5 days. That is Scout. Little Scout. You're a cute little dog, Scout. Scout and Luna are friends. And then Tilly. Hi, Tilly. Tilly is very shy. Hi, Tilly. Hi, Scout. Norton. Scout. Oh, you're done already, Scout. Don't choke. Luna. Climb there.
Ham it is.
Treats for everybody. Everyone sit.
Yeah. Oh,
Make her sit.
okay. Sit. Oh.
Snapping crocodile. That's a big piece of ham.
Martin.
And then Lenny and Clyde.
There's Lenny and Clyde.
Here's-
Where's Lenny?
Lenny's upstairs. Scout chases Southgate. You want to come in, Clyde? You want to come in? Lenny and Southgate. Southgate.
Okay.
Yeah. Scout. Scout, you're gonna get swatted. Scout, leave him alone.
Scout, come here. Scout.
Hi, Lenny. There you go, little darling. Clyde pooping over there. Coda's over for a visit. What a good Coda. Attaboy, Coda. A couple of months ago, one of our wells stopped working. The guy said it was the pump, so he came, pulled the old pump, put a new one in after a few days of work, but it still didn't work. We still got the same error code on the pump controller box. Turns out it wasn't the pump. It was a loose wire 8 feet underground that Steve ended up fixing himself. I filmed that, but I can't find it, so I must have deleted it. It was a bit of a shock a few days ago to receive this massive bill for what ended up being a loose wire that Steve ended up fixing himself. I tell you, it's hard to not get ripped off these days. All right, that pine tree behind me that's dead and has like hollow, rotten sections out of it. I think it's really dangerous. It is, because you don't know what is going to be holding it. But I'm going to do my face cut. My plan was I actually tried to push it with the bobcat and just see if it was so rotten it would just fall over. But I'm going to do my face cut and then assess what the wood looks like, and I can always leave it for now for the night or something and then bring the machine back down here to facilitate it going down if it looks really dangerous. The other one I want to cut down too, and I'm going to try to put them both in the opposite way rather than here so that they can just live with the rest of the mess in the forest in that area for at least another little while, rather than me having to continually put something where I want to put the fort and then I keep having to clean up. So that's the plan. So I actually don't really know what to do about this tree because there's like 2 trees. There's this section and it only seems like it goes to there. And then this part is like not the same tree, at least down here. So do I cut more into this? One thing I could try, which I've never done before, but I've watched, is to do the plunge cut in, bore cut to the back, leaving a hinge at the back, like a trigger at the back. And then at the very end, you cut the back trigger off and it should go down. That's something they say is good for reducing your chance of barber chair. Yeah, it's just really deceiving because this is just not really the rest of the tree. Like, that's not this rotten part, but it doesn't really have a center in it. That was a struggle. It's so rotten. That just fell down and it caused it to just slip off. So now it's hung up. I was trying to get it like right beside this other cottonwood. I mean, chance of it getting hung up was high anyway, but bobcat with chain. I gotta go up. I gotta get more fuel and oil, feed the dogs, and I'll have to come back down with the bobcat. that one. That aspen has quite a bit of lean. So the way I was gonna try to follow it the opposite way of what it's leaning, and it is leaning quite a bit and it is really tall, is do the back cut first, jam in a bunch of wedges. I've never done it before. This is just the videos that I've watched. Jam in a bunch of wedges and then you do your face cut. I think if I had a clear field to do that in, I would, and a tree that wasn't so dead, I would attempt it, but I just feel like it's gonna get hung up in the branches that it's surrounded by, and I don't want to be down here struggling. Like it's, I don't know, it's like 7:30 p.m. or something like that. So I maybe should even just do this tomorrow or another day, but to be honest, it's full on deck and I'm just kind of picking away at this on the off hours of working on the deck. So I think I'm just gonna move the bobcat, move my things out of the way and drop it where it wants to go, which is right where my cabin, sorry, my fort, right where my fort is gonna go. And I'm just gonna have to clean it up. We're back. It is, I don't know, a day or two later since I was last working down here. I've been working on the deck all day with Dilly and it's like 5:30 p.m. and I want to come and cut that tree down. I think I'm going to use the machine to hold it in place just to make sure. So I'm going to raise the bucket up, add just ever so slight amount of pressure to the tree, do a back cut, jam in some wedges, then do my face cut, and if all goes well, the tree is going to fall in the opposite way it's leaning into the forest where I don't have to spend a bunch of time cleaning it up. I think I'm ready. I cleared a path. I kind of cleared some branches from the trees that are around it. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous, but it's just, you know, slow, think things through, stop and check. I feel like I've done all the things that I need to do to cut this tree down, other than have a spot. Steve is up at the house. He knows I'm down here. Yeah, there was a lot of resistance on that for sure, and my hinge was not that big, so it was just because it was leaning that much, I guess, but I really had to push it. I didn't think I would have to push it so much, but anyway, it's down, and I think I'm just gonna kind of focus on cleaning up this little area. While I have the bobcat here, I'm going to buck those up and pick them up and drop them in this gully over here. Popped off. This thing popped off. So it wasn't obviously in right, and it actually, I can say it wasn't me. If it was me, I would say it, but Steve put this on. But it sometimes doesn't quite get on right or very well, so I'm gonna try and get it on. I can't get it off. I can't get the other side off. I normally kick it with steel-toed boots, or I use a rock. I probably could keep trying, but there is stuff I can pick up by hand, so I'd rather just spend the next 10-15 minutes doing that, and then I'm gonna head back up to the house. And tomorrow I'll try and get that attachment back on properly. rat's nest. I think the wood chipper down here would be superb. I know a lot of you are wondering about a few things. Steve's back, or I guess primarily the nerve pain in his leg, is improving overall. I also know a lot of you are wondering about the cabin on a cliff, and I haven't forgot about good old Clifford. But with Steve's back and the deck and the plethora of other little details around here, I honestly haven't even been able to get out to that property. A couple of weekends ago, I did go out on my own with a few of the dogs for just one night. I swam a lot, I paddleboarded a little, I cleaned, I organized, and of course we did hike up to the cliff cabin. All is well up there, and soon enough we will be back and working on it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.